With not long left to go in the 2022 Formula 1 season, many teams have started to shift their focus to the cars for next year, including Mercedes, who have just revealed insane plans for their 2023 car, and for good reason. If we cast our minds back to early in the Formula 1 season this year, it was looking like orange is the new Haas down at McLaren. I lied on my CV, now I'm a strategist at Ferrari.
Single action. Did you mean to do that? Yeah.
And Mercedes W13 was based on the concept of a space hopper. But fortunately, as the season has progressed, the teams have made strides in the right direction.
Stay out.
Okay, kind of made strides in the right direction. And teams seem to be where they should be in the pecking order, apart from Mercedes, who still are yet to extract a victory out of the W13 this season. But recent comments from Toto Wolff have been made regarding the development for the 2023 car, and not only that, could we still see a victory for the W13 in one of the last two races of the season? Do Mercedes have a trick up their sleeve? As we all know, porpoising has been one of the main factors in holding back the performance potential within the W13 this year, due to Mercedes not being able to run the car at the ride height they desire, which has resulted in a lack of performance in many areas of the car. And the budget cap has also hampered many teams as they have had to carefully choose what to develop to make the most out of the $145 million budget cap. Not that this has stopped all teams sticking to the cap, but I won't mention any names. Mercedes' big final upgrade of the season was introduced in Austin, and it was looking like Hamilton could have been set for clinching the first victory of the season for Mercedes. But as we've seen so many times this season, nobody seems to have an answer for the RB18's incredible performance, and Verstappen reeled in the W13 in the final laps of the race. But there was some good news for Mercedes, however, as the upgrade that they brought allowed them to further understand the workings of the W13. And this has resulted in big strides moving forward for the development of the W14 for next year. This positive outcome was also mirrored through the comments of Toto Wolff. To turn the ship in this industry is a little bit like an oil tanker. First you have to understand what the root causes of the non-performance, and then you have to peel back the various skins. What's the first layer? What is the second layer? Are we really on top of all the questions? And the answer is no, we are not. But I think a big chunk of the performance that we are missing has just been discovered. It's not something we can change this year, it's a decision that we've made for next year. But I am not 100% confident to say here next year we will be fighting for the World Championship. The aim is, the expectation is, but there's still work to do. So some pretty exciting news from Wolff as 2022 season is winding down in terms of the development for the car. But there are still two burning questions that remain. Can Mercedes pinch P2 in the Constructors from Ferrari? And more importantly, can they keep the record intact by winning a race in either Brazil or Abu Dhabi? But before that, big thanks for sticking around to this point in the video. If you're enjoying today's content, be sure to leave a like, and also be sure to subscribe for more regular Formula 1 updates like this in future. So Mercedes have outlined what they need to do in order to beat Ferrari to P2 in the Constructors' Championship. They had one of the strongest weekends of the 2022 season so far at Mexico. Lewis Hamilton and George Russell finished ahead of both Ferraris and reduced the points gap to just 40. It is clear cut that Mercedes wants P2 in the Constructors. And in the race debrief video for Mexico, Mercedes Motorsport Strategy Director James Vowles explained how the team is feeling very positive about the points they were able to gain in Mexico. It is very clear what our internal goal is. We are here to finish second in the championship, and every single race that we can start pulling that points gap down is a success. In Mexico, we took just 13 points out of them, so there are still 40 to go with the last two races. Fortunately, one of those is a sprint race. I think we have a package now, unlike at the beginning of the season or the mid-season, that can really bring the fight to them. 40 points is a tremendous ask. It will need us really having everything perfect, everything right, and Ferrari perhaps to give us opportunities to open the door for us to pick up second. What I can tell you is that we are not giving up until the checkered flag in Abu Dhabi. So Mercedes still clearly has a spark to fight for P2 in the Constructors, and there is still always Ferrari's bad strategy calling that could hand P2 to them in the end anyway. But do Mercedes think they can win a race this season? In one of the most recent interviews since the Mexican Grand Prix, George Russell had this to say. We've shown between these last two race weekends that there was quite a fluctuation in performance. I feel like we probably had the fastest car this weekend in Mexico, and had we been on the same strategy as Red Bull, we probably could have fought them for the win. Probably Brazil will be the halfway between the two. Realistically, it's going to probably be quite difficult to finish ahead of Red Bull any race this year. But Ferrari, I think we can definitely beat them. So Mercedes aren't confident about a win, but they are very optimistic about finishing P2 in the Constructors. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But that's the video from me today, guys. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. And until the next time, bye-bye.